In any busy dental practice, we all know that time is one of our most valuable resources. So when a new study from the Journal of Dentistry pops up asking if AI can actually speed up virtual implant planning, well, you can bet we're going to pay attention. Let's dive in and break down what they discovered. Okay, let's be honest for a second. We all love the power of digital workflows, but they're not instant. So with a packed schedule, how many minutes are you actually spending just prepping the digital data for a single implant case? That's the exact question this study set out to answer. So here's the thing. The biggest hurdle we often face is just getting the digital data set ready to go. Virtual planning is a massive step up, for sure, but it still has all these manual steps that, take time and really depend on who's doing the work. And this is that manual workflow. I mean, look at it. You start with segmenting the CBCT scan. Then you got to get the patient orientation just right. Then define the panoramic curve. And then comes the really delicate part, right? Meticulously tracing that inferior alveolar nerve before you can finally overlay the DICOM and STL files. Every single step demands precision, and as the study points out, it's totally open to human variability. All right, so to see if there was a better, more efficient way, the researchers set up this awesome head-to-head comparison. They basically put a group of experienced dental clinicians in one corner and a commercial AI assistant in the other to see who could prep these digital data sets faster and more consistently. So here's how they did it. On one side, you have 15 postgraduate residents. Each one of them prepared 20 cases, which adds up to 300 plans in total. On the other side, a single AI assistant tackled those same 20 cases, but it ran each one 5 times to really check for consistency. The stage was definitely set for a proper showdown. And that, of course, brings us to the million-dollar question of the whole experiment, right? When the timer was on, who really came out on top? Was it the experienced human dentists, or was it the artificial intelligence? Let's get right to the good stuff, the results. And let me tell you, the numbers showed a pretty significant gap in time efficiency between the two groups. Now, if you only remember one number from this entire breakdown, make it this one, 1.96. That's almost 2 full minutes saved on every single case when the AI assistant did the prep work. Now, that might not sound like a huge deal, but just think about that adding up over dozens and dozens of cases every month. And here's what that time savings looks like on a chart. On average, the human dentists took almost 4 minutes per case. The AI assistant, it came in at under 2 minutes. We're talking less than half the time. The difference here really speaks for itself. And just so you know, this wasn't some random fluke. The difference was statistically significant, with a p-value of less than 0.01. For anyone who's into research, that basically confirms that these time savings are the real deal and not just some coincidence. But, the study didn't just stop at speed. I mean, speed is great, but it's not everything. They also looked at something that's absolutely critical in any clinical workflow: consistency. How repeatable were the results, not just from case to case, but between different people? Now, this probably won't come as a shock to anyone, but the researchers found a lot of variability among the 15 human dentists. Some were faster, some were slower, which, is just the reality in any practice, right? Performance can depend on experience, how familiar you are with the software, or even what time of day it is. The AI, on the other hand, well, that was a whole different story. Get this. In 71% of the cases, that's nearly 3 out of every 4. The AI's work was perfect. It needed 0 manual adjustments from a clinician. That kind of out-of-the-box consistency could be a total game changer for standardizing how we work. So what about that other 29% of the time? Well, the adjustments needed were mostly pretty minor, usually just a small tweak to the panoramic curve or the nerve identification. So the AI isn't perfect, but this shows it's incredibly reliable. Okay, so we've got all this data. The AI is faster, it's more consistent, but let's get down to the most important question. What does any of this actually mean for you and your practice? How can this give you a real clinical edge? So the first and most obvious takeaway is the time you get back. I mean, based on these numbers, you could potentially prep twice as many implant plans in the same amount of time. It's really about automating those tedious, repetitive tasks so you can free up your brain power to focus on the complex, high-level decisions that really need your expertise. And the second big takeaway is just how much it improves consistency. By automating that initial setup, the AI creates a standardized, high-quality starting point for every single case. This is huge for reducing that operator-dependent variability and making sure you have a uniform, predictable workflow across the entire practice. And I think the authors of the study just captured the ultimate goal here perfectly. The point of this tech isn't to replace us. It's to handle the routine stuff. Just like they said, it's about freeing up valuable time so we can focus on what actually matters most, our human interactions and taking care of our patients. So, all of this leaves us with a pretty big question to think about. When we have evidence showing that a tool is significantly faster and highly consistent, are we looking at the new standard of care for virtual implant planning? I think it's a question every digital practice is going to be asking itself very soon. What do you think?